Welcome to Gun Talk Hunt on the road.
You get used to it.
I don't know.
I can see the comments now. Hold on a second. I'm going to fix it.
Were you not buckled?
I was in the wrong buckle.
Okay. On this Gun Talk Hunt, Ryan likes to put a buckle of seatbelt.
Hey, I'm KJ, dedicated lifelong hunter here. If you got an interest in all things hunting, you're in the right spot. Whether chasing quail across the plains of Oklahoma or in pursuit of elk in the backcountry of British Columbia, you'll always find me on the hunt. This episode of Gun Talk Hunt is brought to you by Silencer Central, Ruger, and Range Ready Training.
All right, on this Gun Talk Hunt, we've got Ryan Gresham, boss.
That's me.
And then we've got Rob Posey in the back who's going to be chiming in too. What's your role here? Hired hand, hunter, but
He's the gun bearer.
he's the Sherpa.
Yeah, he didn't know. He thought he's hunting.
Oh my gosh. That's how this trip has gone.
Right,
Ryan and I got up at 3 a.m. this morning.
Yep.
And we picked Rob up in Shreveport. He was standing by the road with his
That guy who's wearing
leg
camo.
up. I was like, that must be our guy. Hey, pick him up.
I think boys.
He looks important.
He was brisk.
Yeah. But no, we're headed out to New Mexico with Larry. Larry, are we just going to call him Larry the Outfitter?
Yeah.
Larry the Outfitter. And going to go on a meat hunt.
You know, we should talk about how this hunt came
Oh, yeah.
together. Because it's kind of, hunting can be weird. It's like a secret society. My wife thinks it's a secret society.
It is.
Like, hey, your buddy Dave has hunting property. Why don't you just go hunt with Dave? I'm like, well, then I'd have to ask him. There's a whole culture there.
And then I'd have to owe him a favor, maybe.
It's a thing.
And if I came into some hunting land, then he would get to come on my hunting land, and maybe I don't really want that, but I like Dave's land. So maybe I should ask him. But no, this all came about from Ben Fobb of Roaming Shot Range.
So either he gets credit or blame, depending on how this goes.
Yeah. So I guess the next episode will be, the title will either be Way to Go Ben or Screw You Ben of Roaming Shot. But no, so Ryan kind of thought, hey, let's go out, let's test a new cartridge.
Yeah.
The 7mm backcountry.
Brand new.
I mean, fresh off the streets. It dropped on the 7th of the year 2025, January of our dear Lord.
You're speaking Old English now?
I am. I think that's what we're doing. This is Old Testament, KJ. Watch out. Yeah, that you thought that KJ meant King James. Kevin Jarnigan. But, so he said, let's go on a meat hunt. And so I'm like, well, yes, I'm all in. And hopefully, when we return, we get done early, because I do have the Good Luck M&Ms.
Do people know about the M&Ms?
Oh, they got to know.
Do people in your
Yeah,
show know this?
most people know that I get a bag of M&Ms,
What kind of M&Ms?
peanut butter M&Ms.
All right, and what are the rules of the M&Ms?
The rules of the M&Ms are you buy them before the hunt, you carry them with you at all times, like in your pack. You do not eat them until the hunt is successful. And if the hunt is not successful, you have to throw them away.
Oh, an unopened bag of peanut butter M&Ms.
Yep. Usually they're melted,
Yeah.
not crushed. No.
Like for your homies?
For my homies?
Yeah.
No. You got to get rid of them, get that bad choo-choo off of them. I don't know when that happened. I think it all happened around a hunt where the whole season was kind of a really crappy year.
Oh, we did that last year. That was last year.
Oh yeah.
We could
I
talk
dumped out
about
a lot.
We could talk about elk hunts last year.
Oh, that's his elk hunt. We did talk about that. But it all comes around to testing new product. And I swear, there is not a hunt that Ryan or I go on where it's like, hey, we're using only our stuff. Like,
It always starts out.
Ever.
Well, sometimes it starts out like, dude, let's just go make a hunt, just a fun thing.
no.
Not a work. We'll just go. That lasts about 5 seconds.
5 seconds, and you're like, you know what we could use?
Yeah. Hey, there's a new thing. let's see if Federals will send us 7mm backcountry.
Yeah, or like what'll normally happen is you plan this hunt. Like that's how the Kodiak trip came about.
That's right.
I was like, I want to go to Kodiak. I want to whack some blacktails, and I happened to mention it to our buddy, and he goes, "Hey, I want in on that."
Right. I know, it's not a work
deal.
thing. I just want to go do it. Then it turns into a work thing.
So now we have the 7 backcountry, which so here's what it reminds me of. It reminds me of what Sig Sauer is doing with the 277 Sig Fury. Really high pressurized rounds.
Correct.
Right? That's kind of the gist.
Yeah. So that's what you guys are going to start seeing, and that's going to be like the changes in rifle, like consumer grade, like hunting rifle ammunition. Is the case technology is different, which for us, ballistic retards,
I'm the latter.
It's basically the case technology. You can load it to higher pressures, and therefore get bullet performance that you couldn't get before out of the same type of case. So yeah, the 7mm backcountry.
Give us the deets on it.
Here's kind of what you need to know. It's designed for, as it sounds, backcountry Western hunting. A lot of people are running shorter barrel guns because they're running suppressed guns. So this is designed around a 20-inch barrel. Obviously, it'll work in shorter and longer barrels, but optimized for that benchmark is a 20-inch barrel. 170 grain bullet going 3,000 feet per second is kind of the benchmark that they were trying to hit.
That checks out, by the way. Like it 100% checks out. We were getting consistent. Now, here's the other thing with these hunts. We don't always get the first lot that is going out to the public.
We get lot 0.
Yeah, or -1.
Yeah.
I think we got maybe 100 rounds of this stuff. Maybe not even that.
Maybe not. Yeah.
Not of the same grain. We got some 155 grain terminal ascents, then some 170 grain Barnes, and for this hunt we're shooting the Federal Premium 170 grain terminal ascent. Is that correct?
Yeah, those are great bullets. So I'll kind of run you down the loads they've got. It's from 155 to 195 grain bullets. You've got terminal ascent in 155, 170 grain. You've got the Burger Elite 195 grain. We'll come back to that because that one's kind of really cool.
Yeah.
Barnes LRX 168 grain.
That's interesting.
Fusion tipped 175 grain. Okay, and so like the 195, I particularly think is kind of fun because it is a .755 ballistic coefficient.
Wow.
It's super long.
So
gonna buck the wind.
Real long. So I bet that's what most backcountry hunters will probably end up going with. The 155 really intrigues me. We were getting speeds of like pretty consistent, 3,088 out of
almost 3,100.
Almost 3,100 out of a Christensen Arms Ridgeline. I think that's the Ridgeline FFT. Is that right? I think.
Yeah, and we've got it suppressed.
It is suppressed. Oh my gosh. So I've shot it suppressed and unsuppressed. You will want to suppress this thing. I mean, that's the whole reason behind hunting with a shorter barrel is so you can suppress it.
I mean, when it's a 7mm, 170 grain going that fast, it's a Magnum. They don't call it a Magnum. It's kind of funny if you think about it. They've gotten away from calling everything Magnums.
Yeah.
That was like a trend in the 70s, 80s, 90s, I guess.
So do you think the guys that really love recoil, they're too ashamed to get something called the 7mm backcountry? Because they really want the rum. They want the rum.
You gotta have Magnum in the name.
Ultra Magnum.
He won't kill if it ain't got Magnum in the name.
That's the same guys that go to the dollar stores and buy the really big condoms. It's the same guy. He really doesn't need the Magnums.
I think that's more to do with picking up the girl who's working the cash register. That's what that is. But so we're gonna test it out. If you're hearing road noise, we're on
the road.
We're on a 16-hour or so drive out to New Mexico.
I won't let these guys drive.
I mean, we offered.
They offered immediately. Rob got in the truck and he was like, "Hey, can I drive?" Well, like, I'd rather you not.
I know how it is. I've ridden with you on enough trips.
Yeah, I'm a little bit OCD about driving. Like, I like it. Like,
As long as you don't mind and you're not falling asleep.
no, man, I don't think there's been really any time that I've really fallen asleep driving. I don't think.
Not really?
Not that I remember. Not that I remember.
I did take a nap in a field one time, apparently, because I woke up.
You did.
I did.
Yeah,
I did
fell
fall
I
asleep
remember
on
that
the
one.
interstate. I wouldn't recommend it
No.
while you're driving.
No.
And I was not drinking, and it wasn't nighttime. It was 4 p.m.
Really?
Yes.
Oh.
It was like in the afternoon. Yeah.
So we are okay. I'm getting calls, stuff like that. It's normal driving.
You guys are
stuff.
going to have to put up with a little background noise.
Yeah, there's
it's
just
not studio quality.
no, huh? But before we get into that, let's talk about weather and the pressures. I want to get a little bit more of the backcountry cartridge and what Federal's doing. And one of the biggest questions I have, and I answered it a week ago on the podcast, is, and I think I need to restate it and readdress it, is can the 7mm backcountry be reloaded? So all that is going to come up on the other side of this break.
Unmatched precision with the Ruger American Gen 2. In the heart of the wilderness, precision matters. Ruger introduces the American Gen 2 rifle. Designed for hunters who demand excellence, the Ruger American Gen 2 offers enhanced accuracy, smooth bolt action, and durable design. It's the perfect companion for any hunting expedition, providing reliable performance every time you pull the trigger. Trust the Ruger American Gen 2 to deliver when it counts. Visit Ruger.com to learn more and find your next hunting rifle. It's time to prepare for the shot of a lifetime. Whether you're a seasoned hunter or new to the sport, preparation is key. I preach it all the time. At Range Ready Studios, we offer the training you need to make that shot of a lifetime. Chris Serino is on staff, and he has a host of instructors on hand to provide personalized trainings in state-of-the-art facilities and practical exercises that build your confidence and skills. From precision marksmanship to quick target acquisition, we've got you covered. Don't leave your success to chance. Visit rangereadystudios.com to learn more.
All right, we're back. We're going to talk hunt on the road with head honcho, CEO Ryan Gresham, and host of Gun Talk Nation, and Rob Posey, who is designated gunman. He's just shoot. What's funny is
He's a wingman.
Yeah. I mean, if he can spot elk really good, I'm all for it.
But did you
so
tell him
far-
to not yell, "There's an elk"?
Yeah, but so far, I'm the only one spotting animals on this trip.
Oh, let me tell you guys about riding with KJ. KJ likes to drive. He also likes to spot game out the window.
Oh, yeah.
So he doesn't look at the road as much as maybe one might when they're driving.
Or
a
one
vehicle.
should.
One should when they're going 75 down the road. Yeah, but he's like, ooh, hog.
Country.
Ooh, coyote.
Yeah.
Ooh, deer.
But my eyes are tuned in. Like, it's hunting season.
getting-
Ooh, feeder.
Yeah, dude. As soon as you see a feeder,
Like,
don't
what's
you
around
kinda-
it?
You're like, You're checking around the feeder. You're checking.
Ryan thinks, I wonder if I could hunt that.
Oh, that's what I think every time. I'm like, dude.
Or you say, how would I hunt that? Like, what wind is that set up for? Where's the guy walking in? Where's his entry and where's his exit points? That's what I'm starting.
Everybody listening to this does that. They're like, man, I bet they got some deer in there.
Oh yeah, you know they do. But yeah, it's new 7 backcountry. We're headed up to New Mexico. So if you hear road noise, that's the open roads. We're in West Texas now. My truck is not used to going this far west, so I'm having to fight it a little bit from turning around to southwestern Oklahoma. But we're heading out. We're gonna go cow elk hunting. Hopefully we'll get to come back and we'll shoot some and I've got some breaking news that I'm going to share with the guys that they probably know, but I kind of confirmed it just now with Reed Timmer, super duper weatherman, suppoldly on our way back in the Dallas area, up to 12 inches of snow.
Oh my gosh.
So who wants to go to Houston?
Yeah, no kidding.
No,
Hey,
seriously.
12
Like,
inches of snow in Dallas ain't so bad if you're down in Key West.
Right. But I saw around 2 inches around southwestern Oklahoma,
Really?
which
You like
I love.
for coyote hunting?
For coyote hunting,
Yeah.
if you are a coyote steer, man, cold weather
Yeah.
and coyotes, and especially snow, like, man, and if it's freezing rain a little bit, it's so good. It's so good. They get so hungry, and man, they will come to anything. You could probably fart in the wind, and they will come looking for what's smelling
I
good.
just want to be here with you
I know.
guys.
Like maybe they want to get warm. I don't know. But we're out. We're gonna go shoot the 7 backcountry. Ryan,
Yep.
here's my question.
Yep.
Before, and you may know the answer, but before I like kind of divulge a little bit on what I was told by Eric Miller, would you think that the 7 backcountry would be reloadable?
Okay.
Now this is a peak alloy case, so
Yes.
this is a different type of case.
So it is peak alloy case technology, and it is, and I hope I'm saying this right, it is steel cased, but
But
it's not steel cased like cheap Russian ammo steel cased ammo.
right,
So-
you're on it. Yeah.
So, but I mean, we've had this discussion. I think Chris was like, but you can't reload it, right? And I was like, we need to confirm that. So, what's the verdict?
That you are going to be able to reload this.
Do you have to do something special with the cases?
It does not sound like it at all. When talking with Eric Miller, which I was a little shocked, I was going to go, no, it's not reloadable. Now, I imagine the powder that they are using is kind of a proprietary powder that they have.
Yeah, for sure.
And I don't know if like what reloading powder they would suggest, but according to him, they're going to have load data that you're going to be able to load your own. So in my mind, that makes the 7mm backcountry way more attractive than, let's say, a 2776 Fury, because theirs is a 2-piece case.
Yeah. And I don't know if that's reloadable or not.
It is not.
Are you sure?
I'm pretty sure.
Because a 2-piece case in pistol ammo, I believe that was one thing they said. It can be reloaded a lot of times because it was different construction. But you know what?
I worry about pressures.
The 2-piece case, now we're just going to get into guessing and conjecture.
Yes.
But I think the 2-piece is a different animal because you've got the back of it is made of something. That's why it's 2-piece. It's, I
Yeah.
believe that's why it
To
is
handle
reloadable.
the pressure, right?
Yeah. But I don't know. Somebody can call us out and tell them we'll get
Oh,
something
yeah.
wrong.
So what is your strategy going into this hunt?
Don't miss. That's the strategy. Don't miss the large 500-pound critter.
Right.
Which can be done. I've tested this. It is possible to miss an elk.
Standing offhand at 100 yards.
Standing offhand at 100 yards, it is possible. You're like, it's 100 yards, chip shot. I don't need to get a good rest. I'm not going to do that. You guys might be doing the other thing of like, are you going to shoot? I'm going to be like getting out a windsock.
KJ, get over here and let me use your back as a rest for I'll fill this gap right here.
Hey,
Yeah.
let's get out a second rangefinder. I want to plumb bob this thing and make sure everything's
Yeah.
perfect.
Well, there's something to building a platform, and especially for hunts that you pay for. Like,
Right.
This is not us like going out and doing a DIY. We are paying an outfitter to go get a cow elk. This is a meat hunt for us.
It's definitely a meat hunt. No, but that's something that you and I have talked about. And when it comes to hunting, I guess it just depends on the type of hunting, right? If you're sitting in a box blind over a feeder and you see a whitetail walk into the field and you watch him walk in,
Yeah.
you see him, and you can tell by a deer's mannerisms of like, is he spooked or is he totally chill?
Yeah.
And you have all the time in the world. When you're spot and stalking, and like that was my situation on that hunt last year. I think we did a
Yeah.
podcast about it. It was like, boom, there he is. Even though he wasn't like running away or anything, it just felt like I've got I don't know, 10 or 20 seconds. I need to go ahead and make this shot before, because we weren't working the wind or anything like that.
Right.
But I missed. So, maybe you go, hey, go ahead and get a good rest and get your base set up. Maybe he'll walk away while you're doing that.
Yeah.
Maybe you get another shot. Maybe he stops and looks.
Yeah.
But
you might be 135 rather than 100.
It would have been fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's kind of my goal going into this. Is I want to make sure that we have me. I want to be stable.
I think everybody.
And if it's something, I don't want it to be me, right?
Yeah.
Okay, if there was a gust of wind or the animal ran off or whatever, I don't want it to be me. So
I'm going to be sitting here going,
yeah. No, what
it's
you're
going to be so cold.
It is going to be cold. No, what you'll be doing to me is you're going, shoot. That's KJ.
That's one's gonna spook. Yeah, I've gotten better on that. I have gotten better on that. Yeah, I mean, because hunting with kids and my boys especially, like, I've got to remember, like, no pressure on them. Like, the more I am pressing them, they want to turn around and go, "Shut up, Dad." Like, I've got this. Like,
you know what? Also, just thinking about, and I hadn't really thought about this until now we're talking about it. They did say they had a good herd of elk out there.
Yeah.
And we'll talk to the guide. That's the nice thing about hunting with a guide, is if he's like, hey man, the conditions have been rough.
Yeah.
If we see an elk, you better get on it. That's different than, hey guys, we have a bunch of herd on this, and if we don't get the right shot, don't worry, there's more elk.
Right.
Like, okay, cool. Like, at least you know going in.
Yeah.
It's also like when a guide, now this is a cow elk hunt, so if we see a cow elk, it's a shooter. We don't have to determine whether or not it's a shooter. But when you're hunting with a guide and he goes, ooh, that's a shooter, you go, well, okay, he said it's a shooter.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, you kind of take his word for it, especially if you haven't hunted the area or anything like that. You're really kind of beholden to the outfitter and what he says and his calls, and that's fine. But it will be nice, and I think how we'll end up splitting off is Rob may go, with him, and I'll film Ryan, and we'll probably tag team it like a 1 and a 2 thing. And the guys who are going with a 2, like, that's going to be nice, because then you have some support there. Like, hey, get that bag for me, or hey, give me your coat, like, to fill this space, or let's jump that down into prone. And
I mean, we will try to see if we can pick off more than one out of a herd.
Oh,
we
yeah.
are shooting suppressed, and if you make one good shot suppressed, it's very possible that the elk either run off not far or don't really even, because if you've got a herd of elk and one goes down, I mean, I think it's very possible to get two.
No, I think so. Especially shooting suppressed. That's kind of they talk about the non-directional noise. They don't know where it was coming from. Depends on what they see beforehand. If they see 3 giant lumps over there that weren't there, odds are pretty good the noise came from over there. So let's go the other way.
We'll tell Rob not to wear his sequin jacket.
Yeah. Right. Hey, buddy, come on. You're killing me back there. He's back there doing jumping jacks and lunges. What I do down there.
Should we talk about other gear that's we're bringing on the sun? Is anything top secret?
No, nothing else is top secret. We do have like a Armacite Operator 640 clip-on that's really cool, but we have no guns that it will clip onto. We're using it as either a detection or a recovery. Those are really the only 2 ways we can use it, which is fine with me. And then coming back, when the temperatures really drop like that, that's a great time to use thermal.
Oh yeah.
And even though we don't have a gun that we can clip it on, man, just to get in the right area and under cover in the darkness.
And I know you like to look out there before we go into an area.
Oh yeah, that's the most important thing for me, is make sure I'm not bumping anything. And 2, if I can see a coyote, out to distance, like say, 600-700 yards, if I can approach that coyote from a different direction that gives me an advantage for wind and set up really quickly, and then that sun comes up, I mean, the coyote is going to die.
Yeah.
It makes it just so much easier. And then detection, when they hole up and they curl up under a mesquite tree or something like that, they're not hiding.
Right. Yeah.
I mean,
not with thermal. No.
No, even during the daylight, and that's what's so effective about, you can go, okay, there is a hot spot over here, and I know is 100% not a, a hot tree or a hot stump or a cactus or something like that. So that's pretty nice. But we've got new headlamps from a company called Princeton Tech.
Yeah, I'm interested to try them out. I like the feel of them. I like the controls are simple, and they kind of have a history with flashlights.
Yes, and that's like on the military side, and so that they have those roots into like developing high quality stuff. And there's like a little lantern back there that's like 1,000 lumen lamp that's rechargeable. So little stuff like that's cool. Winchester Optics.
Yeah, Winchester. So Winchester. So I mean, an optics company. I don't know how they're positioning this, but is licensing the Winchester name, I think, and bringing out. And we were kind of like, let's be honest. We were like, I don't know if this is going to be good or not.
I don't know,
right? But we tried it out. You guys tested it, and you said, no, it's good to go. Because I said, hey, if this thing is a problem, we won't bring it on this.
Well, I took it out to Ben Fobb's place, roaming shot range in Louisiana, and dude, it tracked true. I mean, out to 500 yards, which I'd kind of like to keep the shots within on this trip.
About 60. Inside 100.
Inside 100, next to the barn.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we're trying to do here.
Yeah, but I think it's a highly effective optic at a lower price point, and that's something that has been changing my tune here lately. Is I had a super expensive optic. We're not going to name names. But here recently, that had a 1.5 to 2 feet deviation in adjustments at 100 yards.
Were you flinching?
No. Hey, Chris Serino was having the same issue because I had him come out, because that's one thing. Eliminate the shooter. All right, you're having troubles with a gun. All right, let's check all our gear. Let's make sure everything's tightened down. Let's look at everything it could be. And then, all right, let's take out the shooter. And Chris Serino in there, and his was just as bad. I was like, all right, it's not me. It was doing the exact same thing. And this optic probably cost quadruple of the Winchester optic.
Yeah.
So, the adjustments, they work true, and I don't know.
So we're working, the Winchester one that we've got is the 3-18, is that right?
Yes, 3-18.
Supreme 3-18. Yeah, on their website, it's $344.
$344. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure they probably got a good warranty with it, but so far it's done well. I see no issues with it yet. I mean, I guess we'll find out once you start banging it around, driving it across country. That's really when the testing happens. I mean,
we didn't come all this way with one gun, though. Don't worry, guys.
No, the other one we have is a old Thompson Center Icon.
It's an antique. They don't even make it anymore.
They don't even make it anymore. I wish they would, man. But I don't think they can make them like that anymore.
Thompson Center as a brand is just kind of not.
Well, hopefully Ritz gets it back up and running.
Yeah, that's right. They bought the brand back, right?
Bought it back. So yeah. I don't know what his plans are with it. I ought to have him on, see what he's doing with it.
Well, Greg Ritz. Hey, Greg Ritz, give us a call.
Bring back the Icon and the Warlord.
The Warlord.
That they made like 5 guns.
I know somebody who has, or we know someone who has a Warlord.
2 of them.
Yeah.
I know someone who has 2 of them.
Yeah.
And I swear, I think they only made 5, and they were great guns.
Yeah.
Oh, what a great name.
338 Lapua.
Yeah.
Very accurate.
What a great name for a gun, though.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome.
I mean, jeez.
I hope they still have the trademark on that.
Yeah. But, it's, I don't know, man. Like, as far as, like, gear, like, in guns, like, on top of that is Leupold's new optic. It's a Mark 6X HD. Mark 6 HD.
Yeah.
3-18 or 6-18. It might be 6-18. I don't know. 3-18, 6-18, one of those. But fire dot reticle, so it's a hunting reticle, second focal plane. Really nice little optic. But yeah.
So what's your strategy on this hunt?
Man, I don't know. Like, just put down an elk by any means necessary. I mean, if I have to chase it down, that's fine.
I've got extra knives.
Yeah, I'm glad we brought extra knives. No, I think it's kind of like you. I want to make a good ethical shot. Don't damage too much meat. So maybe a high neck shot.
Are you going to do that?
Maybe. I don't know. It seems risky. It depends on how much
If
meat.
the guide says, don't worry, there's plenty out there.
Okay. Headshot.
Headshot.
Well, wait, can't eat the cheekbones, right?
What do you think, Rob? What's your strategy?
Yeah. There was a goose decoy back there.
Aim small, miss small.
Yeah.
Aim small,
miss small.
Yes.
All right.
Sounds good to me.
Okay, Rob,
Yes, sir.
you've hunted a lot. What's
As
the
much as one can with 3 kids?
Yes. What's the number one best piece of hunting advice you've ever received?
Man. Hunting in general, or like when I'm
Just hunting in general. Just hunting in general.
definitely like breathing.
Yeah,
It's
just
always
breathe.
Make sure you're breathing, and especially like for novice hunters, because you don't want to get the shanks. But don't rush. Really, don't rush to the stand. Don't rush the blind. Don't rush unless the guide's telling me to.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, that's funny. We have very different ideas of what good hunting advice is. way different. Mine's like, take an extra pair of light layer gloves in case you forget your toilet paper. Like I would say that for me. Like
never leave home without
yeah, never leave home without your dude wipes. Like that's very important.
Do not. My
Dude,
kids.
Extra socks.
That's per the sock.
Man, I didn't know you hunted in sleeveless shirts. Well, I did. I just want to.
Just the one.
So I was very sorry. A good guest who's been on the podcast before. He goes out and we're hunting together, and he comes back, man. He's just sweating, and I'm like, man, what you been doing? He goes, man, I've got a story for you. He goes, well, I saw a deer in the bottom, and I decided I wasn't going to shoot it because my stomach, there was something going on that really needed to be addressed. He goes, I didn't want to just jump out of the stand and ruin a spot because I was seeing deer. He said, so I ran back. And he goes, I ran back, and I realized I was 300 yards away from the stand. And I said, that's plenty of room. And he goes, I went to bend down, and he goes, oh no, my toilet paper's in my backpack. And he's looking around on the prairie.
Oh no, there's nothing on the prairie.
Nothing on the prairie. There's only mesquite
Cactus and
sticks.
mesquite.
Yes. And so he goes, you know what? That day I remembered. Like, I'll always remember the one pair of really expensive Under Armour gloves that got me through it.
Well, this is your moment.
All right, time to shine, boys.
I dropped a guy off as my dad's one time, and he was in an effort stand. And this was in Louisiana, so it wasn't that cold. And he came back to the truck with like a tank top on. He had a belly shirt, and I was like, hey, Matt, what happened? And I said, man, I had toilet paper in the truck. I feel bad.
He's like,
He's like, yeah.
he's like
Belly
Harry.
shirt.
Like,
I was like, bro, I got toilet paper in the truck.
Ronnie, you had extra gloves this whole time? Yeah, it's Colorado.
Yeah.
It's cold. It's so bad.
Man, I think everybody has those moments when they're out in the woods, and it's just,
Nature
it's life. At that point, it's life or death. I mean, yeah, and you just don't know.
How long can I sit in the stand? I know because everybody's thinking the same thing. The moment I step out of the stand, that's when the deer's gonna walk out.
It happened to a buddy of mine. He had to pee at the perfect moment for a deer. I'm like, dude, just wait. He goes, I can. And I specifically put this blind up where I know the deer are coming out. They're going to be all out in front. And then, like, all you have to do, if you have to pee, step right out the back, pee.
Or just
Yeah.
go.
He steps to the side, and it's in there peeing. And I'm like, oh, I'll ease up. So I eased up and out the other side, and I kind of peek around the blind. There's a buck
Yeah.
staring at him 100 yards away, like going,
What's that guy? What's he doing?
why is he? Should I call the cops? Like, this is inappropriate. And so I go over and I go, dude, get in the blind. Get in the blind. There's a buck right there. He goes, shut up. And then at this point, he had cut it off.
You're watching.
He goes, it hurts really bad. I go, get in the blind.
See, you guys are getting a taste of what it's like to hunt with KJ.
I was like, get in the blind. He goes, he's probably going to leave. I was like, get in the blind. Dude, sure enough, like the buck goes, oh, I'm out. Leaves. And then all of a sudden, I was like, he's like, where is he? I was like, I can't see him. And I was like, give it a second. I was like, just wait there. And sure enough, one steps
back?
out, he came back. Like, he steps
He
right
deserved
through.
to get shot.
No, he deserved to get missed. He missed. He missed this deer at 100 yards. And I
Hey,
go, you know
I'm
what?
just saying, it can happen, man.
Hey,
No judgment.
Hey, hey. He had a rest, though.
No, I was shooting off hand.
He had a rest.
I have an excuse.
But it was suppressed. It was my gun. And I go, hold it right on. He goes, he's gone. He goes, I blew it. I go, he's going to come back. Sure enough, the same deer comes right back around.
Really?
And he shot it that time. I was like, there you go.
That's
Like, you wanna
why
go pee
you
now?
should shoot suppressed.
You want to go pee now?
Yeah, now you go pee.
Now you go pee.
You've earned your pee.
Come on.
But seriously, that's why you have hunting suppressed. It's such a
Yes.
big deal because it gives you some wiggle room. You know, one, yes, there's the hearing, not visual hearing
Yes.
is nice. But yeah, I mean, the deer ran off,
Came back.
but he came back because it's like, okay, there was some noise, but I'm not really sure where it came from.
Something that happened. So,
Yeah,
Yeah.
Worked on dislocating shoulder.
Yes.
yeah, that as well.
Yeah. Yeah. Some recoil management.
That's that age.
Yeah. All good. All right. Well, hopefully the next podcast you hear will be a congratulations, Ben, the hunt went great. Rather than,
Damn you, Ben.
damn you, Ben, you suck. Anyway, all right, all you gun talk hunters, you know the drill. Keep those muzzles pointed in a safe direction and always be on the hunt.